Jim Miller versus Clay Guida is on the co-main event of UFC on ESPN 5, Newark, New Jersey. Lawler versus Covington this weekend. It's not the best co-main event of a fight night, I'll be honest with you. These are two aging guys. Neither of them are ranked, okay? I have issues with this, that they're a co-main event. But they're a co-main event because of their namesake. They've earned it. They're legends, I understand. I feel like Clay Guida's going to get this one done. I think I picked Jim Miller in my overall predictions video. But I feel like I'm going to change my mind here to Clay Guida. Because a lot of people think of Clay Guida like, oh, he's the old guy on his way out, right? I don't know. I really don't know. He beat Joe Lozon. He beat Eric Koch. Lost to Oliveira. Fair enough. Beat BJ Penn straight after, comfortably. That fucking annoys me because I want to change it back to fucking Jim Miller now. As soon as I see a win over BJ Penn and I just said that like that's a good thing, I'm so angry at myself. I just said BJ Penn win is a good thing and used it to Clay Guida's advantage. Holy shit. A win over BJ Penn means jack shit. Jim Miller's having a rough time. Holy shit. I do think that Clay Guida's going to win this fight though. I really do. I like Jim Miller. He's had his problems with Lyme's disease. He lost a few key fights, including a fight to Charles Oliveira, the one before last. He beat Alex White, who, let's face it, probably wasn't on UFC level. He beat Jason Gonzalez, who, again, let's face it, probably isn't UFC level. He's a tough reject that got brought in on short notice. Lost by submission in the first round to Jim Miller. Embarrassing. Okay, embarrassing for Jason Gonzalez. However, I do think Clay Guida's going to win this fight. I think it's just going to be a case of mindset. And I use this for the Greg Hardy, Juan Adams. I'm not comparing Jim Miller and Clay Guida to Greg Hardy and Juan Adams. But when you have two old-timers like this, both their chins are questionable. You know, both their pacing is questionable. Who's going to be switched on when time to fight starts? When the fight starts, who's going to be switched on and ready to go and go for the finish? Clay Guida. It's going to be Clay Guida. He's going to sprint forward. He's going to put his chin down. And he's going to swing like a madman for the first 3 minutes of the round. If you're finished, you're finished. If you're not, he's going to sort of edge out the other two rounds. Okay? That's Clay Guida. Jim Miller, I feel like he's going to get done here, man. I feel like he's going to get done bad in the first round. I think it's going to be a finish from Clay Guida. I know Jim Miller's a savage. I know his jiu-jitsu is savage. And I just don't see it going his way, though. I can't see it going his way. I see Clay Guida coming out, being switched on. Yes, he's the older guy, okay, by 2 years. Yes, he's had way more fights. Yes, he's taken more damage in his career than Jim Miller. I just feel like Clay Guida's going to get this one on by being switched on, where Jim Miller comes out maybe a little bit timid, just be like pretty like reactionary fighter to start with. I think that it's going to favour the guy that comes in there and forces the action. The enforcer of the fight, the guy who leads the dance, is going to be Clay Guida. And I think in a fight like this, where two guys are so even, the guy who leads the dance is going to win the fight. So I'm going with Clay Guida here by finishing the first round. And if not, it's going to be a decision. There won't be no late finishes in this fight. And for Clay Guida and Jim Miller, one huge problem in both of their games. It's so weird that they're matched up together because they have the same glaring hole in their game. Whichever one of them is going to be able to figure out that huge hole first and use it to their advantage is going to win this fight. I think it's going to be Clay Guida. I've seen him throw some nasty uppercuts. And you know what I mean by glaring holes in their game. Anything from down to up will destroy Jim Miller and Clay Guida. They both throw shots with their chin down like this. They're both wrestlers. They're both shorter guys for the division. Throwing big looping shots over the top. What's that leave? Their chin right down the center line. Ready for an uppercut or a knee. You saw it with Clay Guida. Soon as they entered the fight with Brian Ortega, round 2 come around, Brian Ortega's coaches go, throw uppercuts and knees. Ortega throws uppercuts and knees and finishes the fight in the third. Okay? Jim Miller. Dan Hooker's fighting him. Dan Hooker goes back to his corner for round 2. Find that knee, he's dropping his head down. Knocks him out in round 3. They have the same hole. Which one of them is going to be able to find it first? I don't know. I think it's going to be Clay Guida because I think he's going to be switched on and ready to go as soon as the bell starts. And I think that's a huge advantage in a 50-50 fight is how comfortable you are. Clay Guida gets this one done. I don't know how it's the co-main event of a fight night, but fair enough. They're both coming off wins. One of them might retire. Who knows? Who knows? I'm giving it to Clay Guida though. I think he gets the job done. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye.